Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I have a video that I've been working on for a few days now. Hope that you guys find this helpful. This is a video explaining all the new business abilities and the missions. So in this video I will be covering all of the new business abilities in the Criminal Enterprise DLC, covering the missions, and giving my thoughts and opinion on a lot of them, and talking about how to complete certain missions and just make it easier in general. And if you want to skip to a specific part in this video, I have timestamps down below that you can click on, whether you want to start with the bikers stuff, the gun running, the CEO crates, or the nightclub. I'm not one of those people where I'm going to put this into, like, separate videos on, like, each role. I thought it'd just be better if I just put it all into, like, one big guide and just organize it for you guys, so you guys can just reference this guide all together instead of having to go to a different video for each role. And also in this video, I will be covering just everything that's new in those businesses. So I won't be covering the old things in the businesses, like how to do sell missions or stuff like that. I'll just be covering the new things with each business. If you want to know about the sell missions and how to make money from these businesses, I have money guides that are on my channel. I'll have that playlist linked at the end. And on top of that, I also have a new money guide that I posted recently with the high demand bonus in relation to these businesses. I will have that linked at the end. But anyways, let's start this off here. So starting off, I want to talk about my favorite part of this update, which is the Bikers Editions. So the Biker Clubhouse now has a new passive business, the bar. Now the bar is not something that's going to make you millions of dollars really quickly, but it is a way for you to generate passive income over time. Now to start these missions, all you basically need to do is go into Clubhouse and just talk to Cindy at the bar counter. Now it might take her a second or two to actually walk up to you, because she walks with the counter when she sees you, so just wait until you get the icon here, and just hit resupply. That's all you pretty much gotta do. And I recommend you start up these missions in between contracts, so when you do a contract, you come back to the Biker Clubhouse, do a bar resupply. You also get paid for these missions. Now, here's another tip for you guys. Depending on where your clubhouse is, these locations to pick up these vans can be very far. Like, this one is in Sandy Shores, and my clubhouse is actually in the city. Now, basically, what you can do, there's a way around this. All you basically need to do is just set your spawn location as your clubhouse. And then when you set your spawn location as your clubhouse, just find an invite-only session or a friends-only session. Those load in the fastest. That's all you pretty much gotta do. And then you spawn right back in the clubhouse, and you can try again, talk to Cindy, and you'll probably get a better location. Now, there is no cooldown on these resupply missions. Once you get a van, that's pretty much full supplies. But if you leave the session, there is no cooldown on it. So if you want to get a better location, if you don't want to drive all the way across the map, because there actually is one van that you have to nice pick up in Paleto Bay, all you pretty much got to do is just set it as spawn location clubhouse, find a new session, and then you will probably get it. So in this case, let's take a look at what I got here. I think I actually got a bad location 2 times in a row, but let's see right here. What did I get? So yeah, I got Sandy Shores 2 times in a row, and now at this point, I actually leave the session. I find another one, and I'm fast forwarding this just to show you guys this is the exact same session, well, the exact same instance that I was recording, I should say. So load it in again, go up here, talk to her, and I get now a better location. I get one in the city. If you have a clubhouse in the city like me, there's one that actually spawns at the top right sometimes. This is actually 1 mile away from my clubhouse. I like this location. And then there's actually one that sometimes spawns in Vespucci Beach. There's a few that spawn in Sandy Shores and Grapeseed if you got a clubhouse around there. But this is basically all you gotta do. Just find a new session, and that's it. Now, if you want to know about these missions, so once you pick up the van, you're going to have a bunch of bikers chasing you. You could have just fight all of them, and eventually the bikers will stop coming in, or you could just drive it to the clubhouse. I just drive it to the clubhouse. I'm usually not that far away, so I just go there. I don't waste my time fighting these guys. Don't worry about the damage. They would have to do an insane amount of damage to really to destroy it. If you're a fast driver, you're not constantly crashing, you will make it. Now, how much does the bar actually generate? The bar basically produces $5,000 every 48 minutes, and it produces around $20,000. $20,000 in total for one van that you pick up. That is basically about 3 hours and 4 minutes. So these supplies last for around 3 hours and 4 minutes. So don't think that you have to do a supply run every 48 minutes. They do last for 3 hours, and they will produce you around $20,000. Now, if you want to know how much does the bar produce in total, the bar produces $100,000 in total before you have to take it. But like I said, do the clubhouse contracts. That's what I recommend. Do clubhouse contracts, and then, when you come back, then, you do a resupply for the bar. And the bar missions, they're always the same thing. Just take a van, and you drive it there. They give you around $10,000. So you do get paid for the mission, but you know your friends aren't really going to get paid much for this. I actually think your MC members don't get paid for this mission. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I would just recommend doing this solo because you're kind of wasting your friends' time when you're doing this with them, and also your friends can't collect the money. Only the MC president can from the bar. So this is more of a solo thing you want to do. Bikers also have 2 new MC contracts. I'm really happy about this because actually me and my friends would do contracts all the time. So I'm happy that we got some new missions here. Now, one of them is called Life and Death Bikes, and this actually involves the Arena Wars Death Bike. But anyways, basically what happens in this mission is that you are going to go and wipe out one gang. One mission is the Kangpei, which you have in this one. Another one, it's the Vagos, and I'm trying to remember what the third gang, it might be the Ballas. But basically what you got to do is Malk will call you, he'll tell you that there's this guy who's developing this prototype bike in his basement, and this mission pretty much takes you always to Vinewood Hills. It's a house in Vinewood Hills. Now, the first part of this mission, you can actually do stealth without getting detected. However, this doesn't do much. I know the mission makes it seem like you can do it stealth, but if you actually get into the house quietly, what actually happens is the enemies in the house just won't be alerted right away. But there's no way to sneak past them or kill the enemies in the house, so eventually you are going to trigger an alarm. But if you have the option to do stealth, I guess do it, because then the enemies in the house at least aren't going to jump you right away, but it doesn't make that much of a significant difference. It's not like you can do, you know, most of the mission going through the house, then quietly. And on top of that, one more tip. Sometimes in certain of these houses, you will actually see like 2 enemies next to each other. Now, you can headshot kill enemies with suppressed weapons, and they won't hear it, as long as they don't see it and they don't die in that cone of vision. However, even when there's 2 guys, like in this case, if you headshot them both pretty much at the exact same time, the other enemies will know. So don't kill the two guys together. If you're going to kill anybody quietly, if you want to do this part quietly, then kill people that are by themselves. Even if you kill the 2 guys that are together right at the same time, they will still know. I know it's ridiculous. That's why GTA stealth is broken. But anyways, once we get through this house, we fight through the house. It's always the same interior, by the way, in the house. It's actually the same interior as the luxury penthouse that you can actually upgrade in GTA Online. So basically, what we do is we now go through the house, and we go upstairs. Now, once we're upstairs, after we kill the enemies, there's 3 switches. Now, one of these switches opens up a secret door. There's not really a way that I've noticed to tell which is the correct switch. Basically, only one switch is the correct one. One switch is going to basically taser you, shock you for just a few seconds, you get back up. The other one actually trips an alarm. Both of these aren't that big of a deal. The taser one's a little bit more annoying. When they trip the alarm, basically what this does is more enemies come in the house. If that happens, you don't have to fight the enemies. Just hit the other button, and then you'll get into the room. The secret door will open up, you get in the garage. Now, once you are in the Death Bike's garage, just take cover behind this car right here, pull out the assault shotgun, and just start blind firing them. Easiest way I found to clear out the garage. You don't want to use too many explosives because there's a lot of cars in here, vehicles that could easily blow up, catch you in the explosion. On top of that, you could also put the Death Bike at risk. There's one guy that's actually has the welding helmet on that has a little bit more health. He's a little bit more armored, so that assault shotgun does help a lot. Now, once you actually have the Death Bike, what actually happens is these IAA agents, they come after you, and they come after you in 4 vehicles. There's 2 sedans and 2 SUVs. You can just use the Death Bike and blow them up. Like I said, there's 4 vehicles that come at you. 2 when you start, when you first leave, and then 2 more come. Once you blow up those 4 vehicles, no more would come. So I would just blow up those 4 vehicles just so you don't have to worry about these idiots chasing you. Now, once you do that, you are going to be going over to one of these gang locations. Now, when you're at the gang locations, you can actually wipe them all out with the Death Bike. I was actually very surprised by this. I thought that I would die pretty quickly. Just make sure you have armor on, because some of these cases I didn't have armor on, but basically just shoot up all the vehicles. Use the miniguns on the Death Bike, target the vehicles. That's what you want to do, because almost all of these enemies are around vehicles, and when you have to blow up the vehicles anyways. When you start blowing up the vehicles, they will all die, and you'll be able to complete the mission quickly. The only annoying one that I found was the Vagos mission, because the Vagos mission, you have to blow up motorcycles, and when you're shooting the motorcycles will actually fall over, and it gets a little bit annoying to destroy them on the Death Bike. You could then just, get off the Death Bike, fire a rocket or something at that, but it is a bit annoying trying to blow up those bikes with the motorcycle miniguns. Afterwards, Malk will just give you a call, tell you that you can deliver the motorcycle back to the clubhouse for more money. The motorcycle is already a pretty fast bike, so you can deliver it to the clubhouse. Even sometimes when you have to drive all the way up to Hookies, that's near Paleto Bay, it's still not that bad of a drive, because the Death Bike is actually one of the fastest vehicles in the game. So just drive it back to the clubhouse, you earn some extra money, and that's that contract. The other MC contract that we have here is Hit the Roof, which is another cool one, and both MC contracts are good. I didn't really have a problem with either the mission structure of either one. But anyways, Hit the Roof, I've noticed it spawns in 2 locations. It spawns in Elysian Island, which is the one that I'm going to right here, and to get up in Elysian Island, you just climb up this ladder here, and then you just run up the staircase when you're at the very top. Up here, you will encounter an enemy, you can just melee him in the back, start shooting, you fight all the enemies on the rooftop, and you kill them. Now, once you kill all of the enemies, you will actually have a few helicopters that will actually spawn. Get rid of those helicopters, and then you'll actually have a few more helicopters that will spawn. Once you see the helicopters, just get rid of them, because no more will spawn once you blow up all the helicopters in the mission. Now, once you clear out all the enemies, you are basically going to need a power saw. Now, the power saw is always in the exact same location, and it's going to be in kind of these construction-like buildings. I'm pretty sure these are new, because I don't remember this building being here on this roof. But basically, it's always going to be in this little building here. So it's kind of a little construction building. You just run inside here, you get the bags, and if you have multiple people in your MC, multiple people can get power saws. And then all you basically gotta do is you gotta power saw the containers until you find the oppressor. Once you find the oppressor, you just basically get into the cargo bob, and then you pick up the crate and you take it to the destination. A little bit of a flight, but I still like the mission. I think it's fun. The other location is going to be actually in that same place where that Lester Contact mission is. I forget the name of it, but there's a Lester Contact mission that was here, a very old mission. But anyways, it's on these series of rooftops, and the power saw is actually going to be right where you start, so it's going to be complete opposite from where the cargo bob is, all the way on the other side. It's going to be right here in this little construction building. You get the power saw, and basically it's the same thing. You just go rooftop to rooftop, and you clear out the enemies. The Elysian Island location is a little bit better one, because you can see all the enemies just leveled out. Here there's like different rooftops, different like the heights where enemies will be shooting you from. But once you clear them out, same drill. You just basically saw the crate, get in the cargo bob, deliver, destroy the helicopters if there's any, and that's pretty much it for that mission. Now, lastly, here we have the new auto shop kind of delivery for the Bikers Clubhouse, and this is basically the same thing as tuners, but instead for motorcycles, which is actually a really awesome thing, and I think Rockstar did a really good job here, so thank you, Rockstar, for actually adding motorcycles to be able to be exported. That's really cool. But basically, these spawn around like every hour or so. I actually timed it for 48 minutes, thinking they spawn every 48 minutes, and once 48 minutes passed, they did not spawn. So I think it's like around every hour and a half when these spawn, but you should get a notification. You get a little notification on the side of your screen, which will actually say that there's a bike at the clubhouse. So you should probably check the clubhouse multiple times a day while you're playing, you know, to resupply your bar and just check if there is a vehicle, because this is actually pretty easy money. And this mission is actually much easier than the mixed goods mission and also the excess stock for the bunker and the CEO crates, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So anyways, you know, it's the same thing as with tuners. You get a random motorcycle in your garage. Some motorcycles are better than others, some are faster than others, obviously, but you just customize the motorcycle. You do exactly what the buyer wants, and then all you have to do is drive the motorcycle. You do not have an option to have the staff automatically deliver it like with the tuner, so you always have to deliver it on your own, but that's not much of a problem for me. You just drive it there. The bike will lose some damage along the way if you damage it, and there are some annoying locations, like here I once actually got Polito Bay, but you're driving an upgraded bike, you're driving a pretty fast vehicle, it's not like you're driving a slow van, so you will eventually get there. You always got to put on some upgrades, so it does help, and the cutscene is a little bit different if you actually damage the bike. Here I took on $2,000 for damage, which actually wasn't that big of a deal, but the NPC, I could tell, was not happy. And here's actually the other cutscene if you deliver a bike in pristine condition. So that's pretty much it for the bikers. Let's move on to the CEO crates next now. The next one that we have here is the CEO crates, which got a significant update as well, and this is probably the one that the majority of people are going to be grinding. Now, it's kind of weird because we do have a new contact in this update called Lupe, and yet Lupe calls us and texts us on certain CEO missions, but she's not a contact that you can call on the phone. But anyways, in the past, I only recommended that people have two large warehouses, and the reason I recommended 2 large warehouses is because you don't really need 5 warehouses well at the time, because there's a 5-minute cooldown in between crate sourcing missions, and so you could just do one warehouse and then do the next one and then go back to the first one and just keep doing that back to back. There was really no need to have more than 2 warehouses. The only reason I had 5 warehouses is because I did big sale videos, but now I recommend that everybody have 5 large warehouses, and the reason that I recommend that is because because of this new contact that you have inside the warehouses where you can source crates. So in certain warehouses, if you have more than one, if you only one, you'll see Lupe. But if you have like 5 like me here, you will find Lupe in one warehouse, and in the other 4, you'll find her workers. And basically, you go up to them, they will appear as an icon on your map. You'll see a person icon there on the map when you're in the warehouse. You go up to them, you pay 7,500. Now, when you pay 7,500, they will source random crates for you. Random crate types and numbers. The crate types don't matter, but the numbers do. So every 48 minutes, they will be delivered, depending on when you purchased it. So what I do is I purchase crates at all 5 of my warehouses. And no, there's no way to purchase them all at once, so you have to visit each warehouse individually. So I put on a stopwatch. When you buy the crates, it'll take 48 minutes exactly for them to be delivered. Now, once they're delivered, I'm showing you guys on the screen what it looks like here. If you are actually in somebody's MC or CEO, they won't be delivered until you actually leave their MC and CEO. So I was in my friend's MC, and this is actually like the 50-minute mark. So 48 minutes passed and I didn't get them delivered. I was wondering why, but the second that my friend actually disbanded the MC, they all got delivered. But you guys see on the screen right here, this is what I got. Now, you can get between 1 to 3 crates delivered to your warehouse. I actually got 1 or 2 crates here. I don't think I've actually gotten 3 crates once, which means that's pretty challenging to get 3 crates. It's pretty rare to get it. So most of the time you're going to be getting 1 or 2 crates, but this is great because you can just pay for these crates and you're paying the close to the exact same amount as you would pay for basically 2 crates. And you can get between 1 to 3 crates. Very easy way to fill up your warehouse while you are doing other crate missions. Very effective. And I have heard from a few people that you can actually get rare crates, like special rare crates, which is like the golden minigun from this contact. But I've been playing all week, and I have not gotten a special rare crate from them. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys have had that. But I've seen a few people in the comments and some of my friends that have told me that you can actually get a special rare crate from it. But I haven't experienced this. I've been using these guys dozens of times to source crates, and I have not gotten a special rare crate yet. So now we move on to the next thing, and the next thing is the mixed goods mission. Now, to start up the mixed goods mission, you basically have to go up to your assistant, so you have to go to your office, and you can do this every 48 minutes, so every in-game day, and you actually get a notification when another mixed goods sale is ready. So you talk to the assistant, and you just start it up here. Now, when you do a mixed goods sell mission, you're going to get $180,000 the first time that you do it, but then every time after that, you will only get $50,000. And the mission is really easy. It's just a few mile drive. It's always an easy mission because this flatbed truck is pretty quick. It has good acceleration and you can get there no problem. Also, there is no high demand bonus on this, so you don't get a bonus based on the players in the lobby. So you always want to sell these in invite-only sessions and friend sessions. And your friends, if they are in your CEO, they don't get anything really for helping you with this. So this is something that I would do solo because you're kind of wasting people's time if you're doing this mission while they're in a CEO waiting for you. So you just deliver it, and you get paid there. And now the final thing with the CEO crates. So the final thing with the CEO crates is we have 2 new source crate missions. And the first one, I recommend you never do it. And I have a whole video explaining this mission and showing this mission. I will actually have that mission at the very end also linked in a video, but I talked about that single mission, how bad it is. It's the Hookies source mission. So whenever you're sourcing crates and you actually get a notification that says go to Hookies right after that, literally close your app or find a new session. I know that you'll lose like the $18,000 if you bought 3 crates, but it's not worth it for that mission because that mission is going to take you somewhere to 15 to 20 minutes to complete, and it's just such a ridiculous mission where you just have to go across the map to Hookies, get satchel charges, dive underwater. You have to literally destroy crates underwater, then you have to fight helicopters that shoot you while you're underwater, then take it across the map. It's just such a nightmare mission. Don't bother with this mission. I'm telling you, this mission is a waste. You are not going to enjoy it. It's just a stupid mission. Just literally find a new session. Even if you lose money, it's still not worth it for $18,000 doing that. It's just such a stupid mission. And there's also another variant of this mission where you get at Del Perro. The Del Perro one isn't as bad because at least it's a little closer to the city, so you don't got to go up all the way to Polito, but it's still a bad mission. I would still close app or find a new session on that as well, but that's pretty much it for that mission. The other mission that you can get from Lupe is an auto shop sourcing. Now, the auto shop sourcing, this mission is basically you're going over to an auto shop garage. There's going to be a few enemies outside, so just blow them up, kill them. Now, once you are actually inside the auto shop garage, you just have to clear out a bunch of enemies. There's actually a lot of guys here, and there isn't a lot of cover. You know, the best cover that you're going to have is on some of the cars, but you're probably going to die once or twice, depending on if you have armor or snacks in this mission. There is actually a significant amount of enemies, and the enemy that is at the very top of the rail on the staircase, part of her cover you can't actually shoot through it. Even though you see her, it doesn't actually let you shoot through it, which is like a bit annoying. But once you deal with all those enemies, you're gonna have to run up to the van, and then you're gonna have to find a key. Now, the key is going to be in random locations. It's not always in the same place in the auto shop, but the key always looks the same. It's going to be on the wall. So basically, I found this upstairs. I found this downstairs at times. All you basically got to do is just run around the garage and look for a specific panel like this. It's going to be this little panel that's going to hold a bunch of keys together. You grab that, and that's it. And then you open up the van, you get in the van, you take it to the warehouse. You're going to be chased by a few enemies along the way, but that's it. This mission is a little difficult, but it's nowhere near as bad as the Hookies mission. That one just sucks. And one final thing with the CEO, basically, you can now source crates in an invite-only and friends session, but you can't do it from the Terabyte. And I've seen so many comments telling me about this, and I know, guys, I'm fully aware of this. I know that you can't source crates from the Terabyte. I personally think this is a glitch. I think this is just something that Rockstar overlooked, because it would make no sense for them to release an update where you can do everything in the friends and invite-only sessions, but then don't let you use the Terabyte in a friends and invite-only session. I think that this is just something they overlooked, something that they forgot, and I think later on they will fix it. But just keep that in mind. At the time that I'm making this video, you can't source crates from the Terabyte. I think this will be fixed, but you never know. So right now you can only source from Office and Arcade if you're in friends and invite-only sessions. Just keep that in mind. Next up, we got the Nightclub. Now, the Nightclub has gotten a significant update with the Criminal Enterprises DLC. The first thing is that now we can call Tony for Nightclub popularity missions. And not only that, when we call Tony, we can actually see the percentage of our popularity. This is really great because instead of constantly having to go back to the Nightclub or to the arcade, we can now check our popularity and start up a Nightclub popularity mission right from the phone. Popularity missions have been buffed in recent years so that they are more useful. And on top of that, a max Nightclub popularity will get you $50,000 every 48 minutes. The safe has also been updated in this DLC to carry from 210,000 previously to 250,000. We get 2 new popularity missions as well, and I'm going to show you guys both of them. And I'm going to show you guys the phone calls in this because there's a little bit of a story behind them. So the first one is actually destroy the drug operation. Here's Tony's phone call on that.
So, it's like I've told you from day one in this business. The more successful you get, the more problems you get. Today's problem? A bunch of 2-bit dealers have come up with a genius marketing strategy calling themselves our official suppliers. It's not a good look, okay? Not exactly grown-up, legitimate business vibes we're putting out. Now, look, I may have purchased some of their products in the past. I won't be judged on my weakest moments, but that was not an invitation to false advertising. Johan's tracking down the distributor. In the meantime, go get rid of them.
So basically, the background behind this is that Tony is talking about some drug supplier that is claiming that he's working with the nightclub in order to try to attract more people to that, but it's giving the nightclub bad PR. And this is actually a reference to Tony's drug addiction, because Tony was addicted to a lot of drugs previously in GTA 4, but he has actually gotten clean. He's most likely been to rehab, but there's no real proof that he's using drugs anymore. But I'm going to play you guys a little cutscene of this in GTA 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony, which this is what this is referencing.
Here, I'm having fun. I am. Where's my fucking phone?
This coke is
And this is
kind
2008 before
Where's
smartphones.
Tony?
Imagine if
He
she had a
went out.
I will
smartphone.
be spiking me with speed, Rocco. I will be so angry.
Where did he go?
Who? What is wrong with you, man? You are ruining my buzz, Luis.
Tony, where's Tony?
He is over there.
Oh, yeah, he passed out again. Guy's a fucking mess, Luis. Holding you back.
He holds everyone back.
Oh, he doesn't.
Get up.
No.
Jesus, man.
So you see how terrible all those people are. It's Tony passed out in the
Here we
kitchen
go.
floor,
No,
and none of them are checking up on him to see if he's okay.
Come on, guys. I want to come too.
Fuck off, Evan. This is work. It's not working out.
Whatever, bitch.
So basically now what we do in this mission is we have to take out 3 drug dealers. Now these drug dealers are pretty far apart, so I recommend using like an air vehicle like a Buzzard or a Sparrow, because it's going to take you a little bit of driving to get to each one, unless you have multiple people in your CEO or MC. But you cannot lock on to these drug dealers. You can't. But you can hit them manually with the missiles. Hitting them manually with the missiles I don't think is that hard to do. Just fly over them. There's like 1 or 2 guys there. You just blow them up. Sometimes they'll try to get on the bike and run away, but you just kill them. And that's it. Once you kill those 3 guys, then you'll get a call from Tony telling you where the supplier is.
Finished? Johan got a hold of the neighborhood where you'll find their supplier. Go put it out of commission. Let's cut this off at the root.
Now at this point, you're going to be taken to a random warehouse location. Just take your helicopter or other vehicle kill all the enemies outside, blow them up. The outside part is easy. The inside of the drug lab, this part is actually a little bit more harder because when you come in, you're coming in down this like staircase here and you almost have no cover down here and the enemies are like shooting you at angles. Use a shotgun. Use the assault shotgun. I personally think it's the best weapon here. Clear these guys out as fast as you can. Once you clear them out, what you're going to do is you're going to plant 3 C4 charges and then you detonate it, and that's pretty much it for that popularity mission.
You know, you remind me of an old friend of mine. No questions asked kind of style. It's a good job.
The next popularity mission that we have is retrieve the incriminating photographs, and here's the phone call from Tony on that.
Fucking paparazzi, am I right? Ooh, you know, there was a time in the 90s when I couldn't slip into the men's room without some fucking mouth breather with a telephoto lens lying in wait for me. So when I get a call from one of our most valuable patrons saying she's been harassed by some freak show with a social media account calling himself an investigative journalist, I see red. Johan cooked up a virus that'll torch his hard drive and any cloud backups of the photos. Here's his address. Go deliver it.
Now, basically, backstory in this mission is there is some social media paparazzi journalist that has taken some incriminating photographs, and you have to retrieve them. And I believe that this is personally a reference to Celebrinator. The Celebrinator was a pretty annoying character in GTA 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony, and he had his own blog website in which he would post ridiculous rumors and just spread it around. For 2. Tony Queen and his rent boy princess Luis Lopez are at it again. Apart from being the least convincing non-couple since 2 men spit-roasted an albino cheetah in Las Venturas, Queenie and Queenier insist on telling half the few desperate schlobs who bothered to try to go to the now irrelevant Masonette to take a hike. Get over yourselves. Hello, sweeties. No one is interested in coming in there to watch you lap dance each other anyway. So let's leave a comment here.
You want war, Mr. Blogger? It's on.
Hey, Mr. Celebrinator, we're big fans of your site at the club, so it's kind of confusing when we read this spiteful stuff. I'm sure you don't want to offend us, so give us a call and we'll try to work it out. So basically you have to break into the paparazzi guy's apartment, and when you're in his apartment, you just have to hack the computer. There's no mini-game. All you basically gotta do is walk up to the computer and you just hit the directional pad on the PlayStation 5 controller, probably on the same on the Xbox. Not sure what key this is on the PC, but you just basically hit the button whatever you're prompted to, and you hack the laptop. There is a single camera inside the apartment. If the camera spots you, the police go after you, but all you basically gotta do is just avoid the camera. It's just going very slowly back and forth, very easy to avoid that camera. You can deal with less enemies doing so. Now, then afterwards, you gotta go over to the paparazzi meeting. You just kill the paparazzi, and you retrieve the photographs. Now, once you retrieve the photographs, you have some cops. You can't call Lester to lose them. However, though, you are gonna have to deliver the mission at the nightclub. So, what I would start doing at this point is start driving towards the nightclub. That's it. Start losing the cops on your drive to the nightclub, and the mission will be completed. Okay, now the next mission that we got here is the new nightclub side activities, and this is basically like a mission where Marcel, your bouncer, will actually text you, and it's nice that they gave these like characters more of a role, because I remember Marcel, you just picked him up once and then you never really see him again. But anyways, Marcel, he gives you a text and he tells you that something's going on the nightclub floor. Sometimes the people will even be in like the back area where the garages are at, but basically most of the time it's some disturbance, some drunk guy causing problems, somebody passes out someplace, or even a celebrity causing some issues. And so all you basically gotta do is just gotta go up to that blue marker on the map. So you see right there, a little bit of a blue marker right there, and in this case, I had to throw this guy out. The most common mission that you're gonna get is a mission where you throw the guy out. Once you throw the guy out, you get a little cutscene like this with Marcel. Now, these missions are so easy, and I'm so happy that Rockstar added them in. They add more life to the nightclub, and they're actually great, because I was actually really scared that you were going to lose popularity if you didn't do these missions, but these missions only spawn if you're in the nightclub. So it's a mission that you do in literally less than 30 seconds, and it gives you a bar and like 10% of popularity. So maybe like a bar, like around a bar and like 10 or 20% of popularity. So it gives you a lot of popularity just for 30 seconds of just going over and just throwing some guy out. But that is the most common mission. Now, the other missions that you can get is a VIP mission. Now, these VIP missions, they come in two variants. The first variant that you have, this is the really, really rare mission. This is one where you have to take the VIP to the hospital. This is actually the easiest of the VIP missions. And so you gotta take the VIP to the hospital. Tony calls you, asks you, how's the guy doing? And you gotta drive him there. It's very simple. The hospital is most of the time really close to the nightclub. I had to take him to two hospitals, the one in the middle of the city and the one at the top of the city. And both times, it was just like a mile or 2 mile drive. It was not that bad. Now, in these missions, these VIP missions, take the VIP to the hospital or take them to home, you have to drive under 60 miles per hour. You can go into first-person mode to see how fast that you are driving, but you have to go under 60 miles per hour or else you will spook the VIP. And once you start spooking them, the bar will not go down. So whatever amount you spook them, that bar will not go down. So keep that in mind. And if you spook them too much, they actually jump out of the vehicle and it fails the mission. So try not to do that. If you get the mission where you gotta drive them home, because that's the other one, all you gotta do is the same thing to the hospital one, but this time you just drive the guy that's drunk and passed out home, take them home, and that's it. And these missions are actually great, because these missions do require a little bit more work, but you actually get paid around $10,000 for them. So you get paid $10,000 for the mission, and you get popularity, so these missions are great. But then there's another thing with these missions. These missions, I've noticed the rate that these missions spawn at, because I run my nightclub typically on max popularity, and whenever I come into my nightclub, I almost always have like one of these missions to do. So they were pretty common for me. But I noticed that once the popularity drops down, they spawn less. So depending on your popularity, that is depending on the rate that these like new, throwing out and driving home missions spawn. Now, I had the popularity all the way down to half a bar. And when I had it down to half a bar, they were still spawning, but it was very, very rare. And then eventually, I had one spawn here. But when you don't have a lot of people in your nightclub, when your popularity goes down, there's a very little chance of these missions spawning. Now, I know some people might say, is this a glitch? I don't think this is a glitch, because it kind of makes sense that you're not really going to have missions where you got to throw people out, or you're not going to have missions where you have to take a VIP home if your nightclub isn't that popular. If you don't have that many people there, you're probably not going to get a mission like that, so I guess it does make some sense. But these missions are just such a great addition, and I really love this part of the update. So the next part of the nightclub additions, and this is probably the one that people like the most, which is basically mini business battles that you get. So now Johan is a new contact in your phone, and I think this is another great step by Rockstar, because they took somebody that you only saw in one mission and they never really interacted with and gave him more of a role here. You can see Johan in your underground nightclub, but my point is he doesn't really interact with you much. But now you can call him up, and when you call up Johan, it'll actually say the percentage of nightclub stock, which is also really nice, and he will start up a mission for you from weapons to product to cargo. These missions, vary in whatever cargo type you've gotten. I have gotten, pretty much all three of them kind of equally. I don't think that there's, I don't think either one has more of a chance of spawning. But anyways, these basically go into two mission types. So the first mission type that you actually see here is the dock one. Now the dock one is, you'll be generally going to the south part of Los Santos, and they have like a crate on a tugboat. There's a bunch of enemies here, so take like a helicopter, because there's a bunch of them and it can be really annoying taking them all out on foot. Just blow all of them up, and then just get the crate on the tugboat. Once you get the crate on the tugboat, just be aware that a few more enemies will spawn. But then after that, you get out of there, and you just take it back to your nightclub, and that's it. These are basically mini business battles, because you can basically spawn these missions that they will help produce your nightclub. And if you want to know how much does this produce, when you steal something, even when you steal the truck, it generally produces one item. And for instance, I had 24 crates beforehand and for cargo, and then I stole a cargo and shipment crate for one of Johan's missions, and I had 25 crates. So it basically went up by $10,000, but don't let this dissuade you, because this helps you fill up your nightclub faster, which then you can sell basically even in populated lobbies for a bigger bonus. And on top of that, you also get paid for the mission, so you get an extra $10,000 for getting paid for the mission. And these missions are very easy, they're very quick, they aren't anything complicated, you can do them in less than 5 minutes. The second mission, this is the easier one. This is basically one where enemies are driving a truck, and generally they're on the highway, which makes this even easier. You go over there, you just shoot them out of the truck, and you take the truck and you just drive it to your nightclub. And this truck actually has decent acceleration. It's pretty fast, so this mission as well, you should have no problem completing it in under 5 minutes. Great addition to the nightclub. Lastly here, there's another feature that a lot of people aren't talking about, and that's being able to spawn vehicles with Tony. Now, with Tony, you can spawn 2 vehicles. You can spawn the Patriot stretch limo, and you can spawn Tony's car. And at first, I actually thought that this was a useless feature, because so many players have personal vehicles. You know, why do we really need Tony to be able to spawn vehicles? Not complaining about more content, but I'm just saying I wouldn't have really used it. But then, while testing these vehicles, I actually noticed something that the game doesn't tell you. The Nightclub vehicles that Tony spawns for you are armored. Yes, they are. They're not bulletproof, but they are a little bit explosive proof. Take a look at this. It actually takes me 3 homing launchers to destroy the Patriot stretch limo. So yes, they can actually take multiple explosions, and it's kind of weird because the gun-running vehicles that Agent 14 spawns you don't have any armor, but yet the Nightclub vehicles do, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. So, 3 homing missiles to destroy the Patriot stretch, but then when my friend, he got into Tony's personal car here, and I fired 3 missiles from a suppressor Mark II at it, and it took 3 missiles and it blew up. So you can lock onto these vehicles, but these vehicles do take a few missiles. So make sure that you guys keep that in mind. If you ever like driving through a hostile area, you know, maybe you're doing a nightclub mission or something else, and you know, you don't have an armored vehicle, you just call up Tony, you know, you could spawn his personal car, you could just drive right through it. They're going to have to hit you with at least 3 missiles to kill you if there's some hostile players in the area. So I do personally think this is a pretty useful feature that a lot of people overlooked. And lastly, here we have the gun running in the bunker. The reason I decided to leave this for last is because I actually thought the new gun running stuff was probably the most boring part of the update. Let me know if you guys agree with me on that. But anyways, the bunker has a few new additions, and one of these new additions is Request Bunker Research. And this basically starts up a new mission in which you go over to an area, there's some crazy guy with a minigun fighting cops, and you have to kill him and retrieve the research item. And when you get over here, you're going to have to fight both cops, and you're going to have to fight the guy. I recommend using a helicopter because he has a minigun, and he's pretty armored, so you can just blow him up from a distance. And once you complete this ridiculous mission, you actually get like around 20 or 25% research. It's just not worth it. It's just such a waste. Now, my position on this is don't even bother with these research missions. Don't bother. Don't do them. Most players have their research completed. And I'm going to tell you, if you have your research completed, if you did all your research, and you start up this mission, because it still lets you start this mission, even if you completed all your research, Agent 14 will tell you, mission success, you did it, but yet you don't get anything. You don't even get paid for this. So you're basically wasting your time doing nothing. Now, if you have research to do, I don't recommend going about it this way. What I recommend instead to do is buy a full batch of supplies at the bunker, and once you buy that full batch of supplies and it gets delivered, wait till it produces a tiny bit, and then once it produces a tiny bit, you fast-track the research. I did that on my old character, and I did that on my new character. I researched like maybe 10% of my items, or like 90% of them. I fast-tracked them. I fast-tracked the vast majority of them, and I'm still over $60 million. Now, I know it's expensive. Fast-tracking research is like around $220,000, and if you fast-track everything, I think it's like $11 million or something like that. I did the calculations on that a long time ago, but it is worth it, because once you do it, you never have to do research again. If you waste your time, you know, doing research and waiting for research to produce, that's time that you could have devoted to your bunker. You could have devoted that time to your bunker producing and making sales. So I personally think that it's a waste of time. I think that instead, you should just fast-track your research, get it over with, and you never have to do it again. So I think that this is probably one of the worst parts of the update, is these research missions with Agent 14, because if they give you like a full bar of research, then okay, maybe it would have been okay, but like the way that this is set up, with just this little tiny amount of research that they give you, and they don't give you any kind of money for this, even the players that can start the mission up but they have their research done, this should have been instead a cargo mission. This should have been something where you call Agent 14 up and he lets you source like some bunker cargo. It helps your bunker produce faster. You get some stock in your bunker. That's what it should have been, not this. But anyways, let's move on to the next thing. So this update has 2 new resupply missions, and I'll tell you guys, I don't recommend doing these resupply missions, but I will show you guys them and tell you what you have to do in them. The reason I don't recommend resupply missions is because you just buy supplies for your bunker. If you buy supplies from your bunker, you make plenty of profit still. If you buy supplies at the bunker, that is around $375,000 in supplies. And if you sell this in a full 30-player lobby, you will basically get $1,575,000 back. So the 1% bonus has actually been multiplied. That's the max that you can make if you sell in a pretty populated lobby. You can get your friends, and you can activate Ghost Organization. Even if you don't want to sell in a populated lobby, if you just want to sell, you know, invite-only session, you don't want to take the risk of people attacking your shipment, then you still get $1,050,000. So you still make, you know, a $600,000 profit right there just from buying these supplies. So buy the supplies, and that's it, let it produce. But anyways, here are the missions. The first mission is this one right here. I actually think this is a pretty fun mission, even though I don't do resupply missions, but you basically have to go over, you kill a bunch of enemies. Once you kill the enemies, you actually take the Longfin, that speedboat that was in the Cayo Perico DLC. Once you have the speedboat, you have to wait for a plane to come in. And once the plane comes in, it actually drops these crates, and you have to pick them up with the speedboat. This mission does get a little bit harder because you got to take the speedboat through this narrow valley where you can easily beach it, but if you're a good boat driver, you'll get through this no problem. And then once you pick up all 3 drops, you just take it to a van and you take it to your bunker. I actually enjoyed this mission. I thought it was kind of fun, you know, picking stuff up with the speedboat and then driving it back to the warehouse. This mission I actually enjoyed. I didn't really have much of a problem with it. The next mission, this is actually the bad mission. The bad mission, this is the one where you have to go over to some underground area and you got to kill a bunch of enemies outside, use the helicopter like I'm doing right here, blow them up. Once you go inside, this is the same interior as in import-export missions. You go inside and you kill all these enemies, then you hack a computer. Keep in mind that when you hack the computer, you have some few enemies that come in through the front door. But once you do that and you hack the computer, you then have to meet a bambushka that's flying over. This bambushka is an enemy, but you have to hack the bambushka. Now, Agent 14 does give you an Akula, and I recommend that you take advantage of this. You don't really have to deal with shoot down the buzzards. If you're quick, you can hack it and avoid the buzzards, but you will have a lot of helicopters coming after you in this mission. You fly over to the Bambushka, you hack it, and then once you hack it, you then pick up these supplies in the vehicle where it's at, and you just drive it back to the bunker. And these supply missions give you basically around 40 to 50% supplies, so they give you around half, but I still, you know, don't think that it's worth it for the time. I wish these missions were actually restock missions, where you could actually get stock for your bunker. You could actually get more stock to sell with these missions, then I think they would personally be worth doing. But that's just pretty much it. And another thing I'll tell you about the Bambushka is don't get too close to the Bambushka, because the Bambushka actually has gunners, and the gunners will actually shoot you out perfectly. You can see right here, the gun on the nose is actually operational. I wasn't getting shot by the tail, but I was getting shot by the nose. They will shoot you with perfect accuracy, so make sure your helicopter is tilted at an angle where they cannot shoot you out, because even if you have armor, they will shoot you out really quickly. These guys, they're just ridiculous. And then we also have the excess stock mission, and the excess stock mission is probably the best part of the bunker editions, and the excess stock will produce every 48 minutes, so every in-game day you'll have an excess stock mission, and you also get a little notification on your screen when excess stock is available in the bunker. This will produce regardless of what you have in your bunker, so even if your bunker isn't producing and you don't have supplies, you will still have an excess stock mission that will produce. Now, once you do these missions are just basically simple. You just drive from point A to point B to any ammunition. The problem is, sometimes the ammunition mission location can be pretty far. So there's actually a tip that I got for you guys, similar to what I was talking about with the MC Clubhouse, the bar resupply missions. On these, you can just find a new session. Find an invite-only session, set your spawn location as the bunker, and basically you just find, and once you find a new session, you can try again. You won't lose your product, you won't lose your vehicle. And so if you have a very far drive, like really far, and you don't like the drive, you think that it's way too far, just find a new session. Once you find that new session, you'll probably get a different route, and you can check. And then when you have the route that you want, you can just drive. I don't personally think that this mission is as good as the mixed good missions, because the mixed good missions is a pretty fast truck, and it's always at the docks. One of the locations at the docks, pretty easy, quick drive. Here, you know, could be a random ammunition all the way up in Polito Bay, which can just be ridiculous, and it's a very slow van. That's just personally what I think about it, but it is an extra mission that you can earn a little bit extra in. Now, lastly, with the bunker, we have the ability to spawn in vehicles, and these vehicles include the Granger, the Mesa, the Manchester, the Venus, the Caddy, and the Zion Classic. Now, the Caddy is that ridiculous little vehicle that you drive around the bunker. You can now spawn this thing in free mode, but these vehicles, they don't have any explosive armor, none whatsoever. And you'd think that the gun-running vehicles that Agent 14 spawns for you, well, they're not technically gun-running vehicles. Some of these vehicles were in other updates, but these vehicles are vehicles that Agent 14 spawns for you, and they get blown up in one explosion. Now, I understand that, the bikes would get destroyed instantly, but I don't understand, like, some of the SUVs and stuff like that, why they can't be more explosive-proof. If Tony's Nightclub vehicles that he spawns for you can take a few rockets and missiles, why can't these? But they basically all get destroyed in one homing missile. That's it. So I wouldn't really bother with the Agent 14 vehicles. If you're gonna spawn a vehicle, spawn Tony's vehicles, because at least they're faster, generally faster, most of them at least, and they can take 3 missiles, where these, they can't take any missiles at all. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope this video has helped you guys out. If you guys enjoyed the video and you did find this helpful, please do drop a like, and if you're new to my channel, enjoy my content, subscribe. If you think this guide will help anybody else, please send it to them. I put a lot of work and effort in this guide, so I really hope that you guys appreciate it. If there's any questions and comments, let me know down below. Again, I'm sorry for this taking almost a week, but I just wanted to play around with all the businesses. I wanted to get to know all the missions and how all the abilities work, and I hope that this does help a lot of people out. I am enjoying this update for the most part still, and I will have a review out on this update. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful day, guys.